What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Finn, your girl Everly, and if you're new here, we cover wrestling content from AEW to TNA to WWE, and we were actually discussing it. We're going to just keep it at those three. We're going to leave out Ring of Honor since we can't seem to fucking get into it, for one.
We don't want to add too. We've already got a lot on our plate with the 3 WWE shows, the 2 AEW shows, plus the respective pay-per-views, and then TNA and their respective pay-per-views. We don't want to add too much to our plate and then get
burned out,
behind, and we're gonna just stick it with the 3 that we know we have gotten into.
Right. Also, kind of taking it from that perspective of, I'm going to pause that here. That sound, that's the dishwasher. Sorry. Yeah, I've got a loud-ass dishwasher. So, anyways, back to it. I'm taking that approach of less is more. If we just focus on AEW, TNA, and WWE, we'll be able to throw more of ourselves into those instead of trying to cover all the promotions that we can get our hands on, and the quality I feel would suffer in that aspect. So we're just gonna leave it at those. But today's episode is our TNA. So they just had Sacrifice this past weekend. There was a few people who got injured. I'm gonna let her take that because, to be perfectly honest, my throat's killing me. Pretty sure I'm getting sick, so she might honestly do a lot of the talking in this one. I do want to note that I took the notes on this one.
I was cooking.
Yeah, she was cooking dinner while we were watching TNA. So I pretty much made the notes. Let us know in the comments where, if you prefer when she did the notes or if I did the notes. That way we can come together and just, whether it's you take from my notes, and to make better notes, or if I'm putting too much in, because when I take notes, I take notes. Like, I take a lot of notes.
Yes.
Whereas she just does certain parts of this, that, and the third. So let us know whose note style, because I feel like depending on the notes that we take, it'll also reflect in the video,
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. That way we can, I don't want to say cater or pander to y'all, but we can give y'all the better content. So as I was saying, I'm going to let her take the beginning part, and I'll chime in from time to time. So go ahead.
So we found out after Sacrifice that there were a few injured wrestlers, knockouts. Matt Hardy ended up with a deviated septum. He has not been cleared to wrestle. Jeff Hardy ended up with the lower back injury, has not been cleared to wrestle. Moose ended up with a hip injury, has not been cleared. Mike Santana hurt his left hand, he was cleared. Mustafa Ali was cleared. He had a jaw injury. Lei Ying Lee, she had a perforated eardrum. She's been cleared. And Alicia Edwards, she had a concussion. She has been cleared. So the top 3 who have not been cleared yet, we did not see them this week because of their injuries. They have not been cleared to wrestle or pretty much anything right now. Once we find out more on those 3, we'll update y'all to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Now, I did see a video package later in the evening of Jeff and Matt addressing the Nick Nemeth attack.
Okay.
So I don't know if they'll be back next week or what just yet, but there was a video package after TNA had gone off from Matt Hardy and Jeff about Nick's attack on Matt.
Right.
So to start the night with the opening, Masha Slamovich, the TNA Knockouts champion, came out. She gave Jade props on their match at Sacrifice. She says Masha claims she wants to prove she's the best woman in all wrestling.
Not just in TNA.
Yep, not just in TNA. And lo and behold, she got interrupted by Tessa Blanchard.
Of course.
She claims that she is the best. Masha ends up getting blindsided by NXT's JC Jane. So it looks like JC Jane is going for that title next week.
Mm.
Santino came out, announces next week will be Masha versus JC Jane, and Tessa is banned from ringside. Though that probably won't stop her.
Probably
But
not.
this is Tessa Blanchard. She does not give a fuck about who says what.
Exactly.
Other than if she's going to lose her job.
Yeah, that part.
After that, we had the Northern Armory versus the Rascals. I don't know the two team members from the Northern Army, so what we did hear from them being announced was their last names, pretty much.
Yeah, Williams and Icarus.
Yep. Williams and Icarus come out.
Icarus is the one that actually has hair in the group, and fucking Williams is the bald-headed young guy that's obviously not Eric Young. But yeah, just wanted to clarify that real quick, because I know Eric Young from WWE when he was part of Sanity on NXT. The other two, I don't know who the hell they are, where the fuck they came from.
They're newbies, that's why Eric Young is training them.
Yeah. Anyways, you were saying.
But, Williams and Icarus come out looking dumb as fuck with the mask.
Not just that,
And
but
just one of them taking the mask off and doing
Williams, or not Williams, Icarus.
fishy lips.
Icarus, every time he comes out, he's like on the ropes, he takes the mask off, and he's like, bro, what is he doing? Kind of creepy. And then Williams over here trying to make himself look like he's this badass, like, powerhouse, like Bobby Lashley type shit. And dude, you are a fucking twig. Why are you walking around like, yeah, I'm big and powerful. I'm big and powerful. Dude, I could snap you. Like, they look dumb as shit, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm hoping once they get some more time under their belt, they can develop themselves better and not look so
Dumb.
stupid.
Same difference.
In the wise words of Randy Orton, stupid, stupid, stupid. I say as I make myself look stupid. Continue.
But, that match was fast paced, cheap shots from both teams. The Rascals picked up the victory
It was just a pretty decent
with
match.
with the tag team finisher that the Rascals do.
I can't remember what the name was, which is why I was just like, they finished it with tag team stuff.
Yeah. The Northern Armory and Eric Young surround the Rascals after the match on the apron, and Ace Austin came out to even the odds with the steel chair. We then had a backstage segment with Zaya Brookside discussing the match from last week against Rosemary. She's currently conflicted on how to handle the matches. She doesn't know if she should do cheap shots like other people do, or use
Keep playing fair.
or keep playing the good girl,
Right.
or just like Rosemary tried to do. She tried to bring in a chain last week.
Mhm.
Zaya had taken the chain from her and thought about using it, but didn't. So
That hesitation is what led to Rosemary getting or being able to use the mist last week.
but she
Which
still got
ended
the DQ.
Yeah, ended up being a DQ, so technically Zaya won the match.
Yep.
But
That's not how she wanted to win.
yeah, it's also one of those. Yeah, the ref was right there, so if she had used the chain, she would have ended up DQ'd.
Yeah.
But if she hadn't hesitated so long, maybe Rosemary wouldn't have had the chance to.
Missed her.
Yeah. Missed, not miss.
Yep. So Zaya wants to fight fair, but she's getting sick of being taken advantage of. Rosemary came on the TV in the back to address Zaya, telling her she needs to let into her dark side. So she suggested they find tag partners for later in the night for them to have a tag team match against one another. Then we had the annoying First Class Penthouse come out, and they were going to feature Chavo de Guerrero
Junior, yes.
Jr. I don't know if anybody's ever seen him in WWE, but his whole thing was, ooh, Chavo. And he was with Eddie and all. Anywho.
I miss that.
First Class.
Latino Heat.
Yep. Talk shit about El Paso. Chavo came out and cut them off. AJ says if he wanted the second best Guerrero, he could have called Dom. Shout out to Dominic from WWE.
Dirty Dom.
Yep. Chavo shoots back with the verdict isn't in yet about Dom.
Being a Guerrero.
His mom did like to get around, and Eddie is damn good looking.
That shit. Oh my god, that was horrible.
I don't know if Ray's gonna like that.
I mean, let's go way back
I know.
when Dom was like, what, 6?
No, he was about 7, 8.
6, 7.
They did the whole custody fight.
Yeah, the ladder match for the custody of Dom, Eddie versus Ray. So, you know, there was always that storyline of, oh, Dom might not be Ray's. Dom might be an actual Guerrero.
Eddie would have won that if Vicky hadn't hit him with a chair or something.
And look at Dom now.
Uh-huh.
Spitting image of
Of Eddie. And Ray still jokingly asks his wife, are you sure he's not Eddie's? And she kind of just looks at him like, really? Yes, Ray, I was cheating on you. No! That is your kid. I'm pretty sure they've done DNA tests to confirm that too.
I mean, at this point, I would really hope so.
But Frankie Kazarian came out.
For God knows
says
what
things
reason.
have changed, and he calls the shots around here, claiming he still has beef with Chavo when him and Hernandez took the titles from him and Daniels in 2012.
Yeah,
Watch that episode of TNA for that.
2012,
13 years ago.
Yeah, the fuck.
Need to let that go, bud.
Damn, I thought I knew some petty ass people who hold grudges. 12 years though?
Yeah.
13 years?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways.
Aztec Warriors came out and challenged First Class and Frankie to a 6-man tag match next week. So it'll be Chavo and the Aztec Warriors versus First Class and Frankie Kazarian in a 6-man tag next week.
Up next
we had a rematch between Ali and Santana from their sacrifice match because Ali, doing what he does, cheated.
Mm-hmm.
All other parties were banned from ringside.
Yeah.
Santana attacked Ali before the match even started. Whooped his ass a good bit, and then he finally threw him. He threw him into the timekeeper's area.
I'm gonna clip that.
Yep. Hit him with a 10-count punch. Ali avoided a kick, and they ended up in the ring officially for the match to begin. It was a decent paced match up until Ali was a pansy and decided, I don't need this, and walked out through the crowd.
Side note. When talking about, like, the pace of the match, you've got your fast pace, which is normally, like, your more lightweight. You've got your slow paced matches, which tend to be, like, more your powerhouses, have a slower pace. But I wanted to throw, like, a third pace in there. So that's what she means by, like, a decent pace. It wasn't a slow pace with a lot of, like, gaps between spots. And it wasn't fast or consistently just spot after spot after spot. But, you know, having that third kind of allows us to better give you an idea of how the match ran. So, like with this match, there was some spacing between spots, but it wasn't so much. It wasn't like a lot of dead space in the match, you know, but it wasn't move after move after move after move. You know, there was some time where Santana, goddamn, Santana or Ali was down while the other one was waiting for them to get back up, you know, but it wasn't overdone as far as dead space, you know. So when she says like a decent pace, that's kind of what we're talking about. More that middle ground between the slow and the fast paced type matches. You can continue. Damn, my throat is killing me. Coffee and vapor, probably not the best ideas, but yeah, whatever.
So, like I was saying, Ali walked through the crowd, says he doesn't need this, he's already beat Santana. Mm-hmm. So, Santana got a victory from a 10 count because Ali got counted out. Backstage interview, Ali is seen trying to leave, and the lady that asked him the question, why are you running? I need to
figure out her name because I can't remember the interviewer.
Yeah.
For TNA.
She's like, why are you running from Santana?
You almost did it.
Yeah. Ali claims that he didn't run. He conquered Santana at Sacrifice, mind you. Again, he cheated.
That part.
And that he's done with Santana.
Mm-hmm.
And she continued to try and ask questions, and one of his little henchmen, she got in her face and said, leave it alone. That they're done.
It's done and over with.
That they're trying to leave, and they finally just said, let's go. Yeah. And so
drove off. So with that, they could technically end that feud right there if they wanted to. I feel like that would be kind of a flat ending, though. But I feel like Santana is going to try to get some more retribution against Ali, especially considering they're now 1-1 on a technical basis. Mm-hmm. Ali won at Sacrifice. Santana won this week, so they're at a 1-1 stalemate.
Yep.
So I don't think it's over, but technically they could just call it and then send them on their way to other feuds. Excuse me.
We then had the discussion between the Nemeth came out to explain their attack on Matt Hardy at Sacrifice. Ryan Nemeth came out saying Nick did the right thing, that he knew whose side he should have been on, because before Sacrifice they were trying to find another person. Mm-hmm. And they chose not to go with Ryan. They wanted Nick. And
well, it wasn't just that they wanted Nick. It's that they wanted just Nick. They didn't want Ryan too. So the fact that instead of it being both the Nemeth brothers, it was Nick Nemeth and Leon Slater that they chose.
You also got to think, Ryan was out here telling his brother for the last few months while he was out on suspension, oh, I was in the ring doing this or doing this, and I've
been main eventing TNA since you've been gone. I've been holding it down. Dude, you haven't done shit but walk out there. My big brother.
And they went and they told Nick all this, and they're like, and he's like, what? Well, let me talk to him and tell him. And Ryan's over standing in the corner.
About to cry
like a little baby. But anywho, Nick came out, says Matt tried to drive a wedge between them, even though it's not really Matt's fault, because what can Ryan really do? We've seen him try and wrestle. It didn't last very long.
Joe Hendry beat him in, 15 seconds?
If that.
Like, literally hit him with...
2 moves.
No, not even.
Yeah.
Dude, because I was pretty sure Ryan ran in there, immediately got caught in the setup for
Oh, I might
the
have.
finisher, standing ovation.
Yep.
And that was it. Like, Joe Hendry hit the standing ovation and 1, 2, 3. Like,
Yep.
point being though, whether it was just that move or it was 2 moves, dude, you got fucking flatlined and
Yep.
nothing flat. Like, what are you bringing to the table?
Yep. But Nick claimed that him and his brother Ryan are the best brother tag team ever.
Taking
Not
their
even
shots
close.
at the Hardys, you know.
Not even close. Leon Slater came out, says he ain't gonna sit back and let them talk shit about the Hardys. Says Nick is washed up, which probably at this point, with him being from the fucking Spirit Squad so many years ago to now,
Jesus.
yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
Yep. Ryan says he should get in the ring so Nick can fuck him up like he fucked up Matt. Leon says he should take them both out, takes out Ryan, and got hit with a super kick by Nick.
I do want to say, obviously, we're paraphrasing because, you know, they're not going to sit here and drop the F-bomb. But giving you the general gist of what was said without literally quote for or word for word quoting what they said, because that'd be a lot to write down.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Because Ryan, after the whole thing with Slater and them telling him to get in the ring so Nick can mess him up, I'm like, why is it gotta be your brother that's the only one messing him up? Are you that much of a pansy to do it yourself?
Look, like, that's my thing. You're going to sit here and be like, oh, fuck you, whatever. My big brother will fight you. No, bro. Put your own neck out there.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're this big and bad and as good as your brother, prove it.
Thank you.
Don't
Like,
just
bro.
put it all on your big brother.
My big brother.
But
God,
that
that
ended
shit
out that
irritates me.
segment. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Slater and Nick next week. Possibly.
Either Slater and Nick or Slater and Ryan. I do feel like they might throw that match.
Or
in there
Santino
next
might
week.
even just do the Nemesis versus Slater and a partner of his choosing.
Right, that too. They did announce some of the matches for next week, which we will address that at the end of the video.
Yep.
Excuse me, but I feel like there's still room for them to add a match here
Yeah.
or there, so maybe that'll be a match that happens next week. If not next week, at least in the next couple of weeks. It'll
Yep.
be something.
Then we had the Rosemary and Savannah Evans versus Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee. Zaya and Rosemary started it off, but Rosemary did not want to stay in, so she tagged in Savannah, and then
Immediately.
eventually Savannah tagged Rosemary back in. But lots of tags between both teams,
Yeah,
decent pace.
Which might seem weird to bring up, considering it's a tag match, but there wasn't a lot of this person is getting completely beat down by the
Yeah.
other team. There was a good amount of tags between both teams,
Yeah.
so kind of allowed everybody in that match to go ahead and get their spots in, you know, get good actual in-ring time.
At one point, Savannah had Zaya held back, and she was holding her. Rosemary comes in and goes to hit the mist, and Zaya is able to get out of Evans' arms, and Rosemary ends up misting Evans in the face. So there's a miscommunication there. And because of that, Lee was able to hit her finisher on Evans and get the win.
Yeah. Overall, I think that was a pretty good match, though.
Yeah.
Kind of allowed Brookside to catch a victory without having to go or feed into the demons or the dark side like Rosemary's trying to get her to do.
Yep.
Granted, I would not mind I'm more of a heel person, so I like when somebody gives into the dark side. I mean, literally have a tattoo of Darth Maul on my fucking arm. So that doesn't tell you that I like the darker side of life. But, continuing on.
We had the celebration by Elegance with Ash and Heather.
Kill me. God, that was so horrible. That whole segment ended good, but the beginning of it, I just wanted to fucking gouge my eyes out and rip my ears off.
Butler Dork was out in the ring. He,
the Butler bitch.
Yeah. He brought out 2 male strippers in a supposed $5,000 cake that looked like maybe $20.
Let me clarify, they were actual strippers, but god damn it, they looked like they should have been male strippers. Yep. He bought 2 beefcakes to bring out their $5,000 cake that looked like you could have got it for about $20 at fucking Walmart.
Yep.
Like,
basically. Then he introduced the Bimbo Barbies. Yes, he named them the Bimbo Barbies.
Oh, I talk mad shit in this fucking, in the notes.
Yep.
Emojis and all.
The crowd booed the fuck out of them. Yes. I would have booed them too.
Oh, duh.
Lights went out while Ash is trying to make her wish, and Lash and Jakara from NXT came out. Now, mind you, they showed up on Sacrifice after the Bimbo Barbies won the titles.
Sorry. I just thought about what you call them on NXT, the Lollipop Guild, and all I thought was, we represent the Lollipop Guild. Like, that's literally all of my brain just went to.
So, it was Clash of the Bimbo Barbies and the Lollipop Guild, or as he called them, the Ghetto Barbies.
Clash of the Bimbo Barbies and the Ghetto Barbies.
Then we had Spitfire come out. They reminded everyone that they are entitled to a rematch.
Shit.
Gigi Dolan and Tatum made their appearance on TNA. I knew about it. He did not, so I did not spoil it for him, so he was extremely happy.
I was not drooling. Who said I was drooling? What?
Paxley claimed that they would like their shot. Ash pitches a fit. Gigi disses Ash and says, "What was your wish? Kissing my ass?"
Please. I mean,
Ash smacked her across the face, and they all go and start brawling.
Yeah, like literally between all 4 teams, just all hell broke loose.
Yep. So
it was nice.
Security came out. Santino came out.
He announced the match for next week.
Yep. He announced the match for next week. It's going to be Ash and Heather versus Gigi and Tatum. Spitfire and Lash and Jakara are banned from ringside.
Lash and Jakara did not take kindly to that.
Lash and Jakara did not take kindly to that. They cleared the ring of security and got in Santino's face.
That shit was funny.
Which then prompted his daughter, Ariana, to come out.
Which, mind you, she is representative for NXT.
Yep.
So.
Because Lash and Jakara were so adamant about getting unbanned from ringside, they're like, Ariana's like, you know I love you. Y'all are my best friends on NXT.
She says that about all the females that are on NXT.
But y'all are banned from ringside. They finally just get out of the ring and walk out. But Santino's over here and like...
Jakara walks up to him, gets right in his face. He's like, you're a lot bigger than you seem on TV. I don't know what to do here.
I'm kind of scared. And that's when
in typical Santino fashion. That shit was... Like I said, that whole segment started out, I really wanted to just delete myself from existence. But it ended on a good note, though. It definitely went a lot better than I expected it to.
Yep.
Because I really thought it was just going to be the fucking Bimbo Barbies bullshitting about how they fucking are the best tag team women's champion. Ugh.
Yeah.
So the fact that, they got interrupted by the Ghetto Barbies, and then Spitfire comes out, and then Gigi and Paxley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I call Lash and Jakara the Lollipop Guild, mainly because the one likes to come out with a fucking lollipop. And all I think of is the fucking Lollipop Guild.
And of course, like I already did, all my brain goes to is we represent the Lollipop Guild. Like, bro, god damn it.
That is the nickname I had given them from day one. Why is this bitch coming out with a lollipop? It reminds me of the Lollipop fucking Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild.
God damn.
Yeah.
I do have to say, like you brought up, they finally changed their fucking intro from the Meta-4 intro to just Lash and Jakara. Like, thank God, because, you know, the Meta-4 hasn't been a fucking thing for
a minute.
Exactly. Like, the two guys that were in the Meta-4 got released, I think.
Yeah.
So, why the fuck were you calling yourselves the Meta-4?
I guess it just took them time to fucking redo it.
I think there might have been some contractual issues as far as the other two go, so they thought maybe they'll come back, and when they realized they finally changed their shit. So, thank God that they finally changed that shit, because that was more annoyance on two people that are already annoying as fuck to me.
Yep, so next we had Warner versus Magno. He's a local guy in El Paso.
Yeah.
That match was not very long.
We knew that was going to be a squash match.
Warner did 2 clotheslines on Magno and a knee for the 1, 2, 3, and it was done.
Yeah, which, when Warner came out, seeing the dude, Magno? Magnifying glass?
You just put Magno.
Yeah. Mango?
Magno.
When he was already in the ring, like, didn't get no intro, nothing. He was already in the ring, and they barely even did anything to say, hey, this is the opponent.
Yep.
Like,
I knew
it was going to be a squash match.
Yeah. Just something, just to fill the time.
Yeah, so.
After that, we had a video package backstage of Steve Maclin. He won his match at Sacrifice, but he didn't know that Eric Young had gotten involved.
Right.
So
he said something along the lines of, when he saw Eric Young's smile to him, he knew something was up. So he went back and rewatched the match, and that's when he realized what Eric did to give Maclin the upper hand.
Yep.
And yeah, he was pissed.
Yeah, he told Eric that he does not need the Northern Armory's help. That
he doesn't need it, nor does he want it.
Yep, he does not want anything to do with it. He wants to do everything on his own. He does not need the assistance or the cheating or
I was
the
about to
easy
say,
way out.
It's more or less because Maclin and Young have history together of working side by side.
Yeah.
But the way that Eric Young and the Northern Armory handles business by taking cheap shots and shit like that, that's not how Maclin wants to do it. So if that's how the Northern Armory is going to operate, he doesn't want to be involved with them. He wants to be straight up, clean matches, you know?
Hey.
So he was pissed. Excuse me.
Yep.
Told y'all, I think I'm getting sick. He was straight up just like pissed the fuck off that his match at Sacrifice wasn't a clean victory.
Yeah.
So honestly, I could see Maclin wanting to run back that match with Frankie
at
some point. Granted, I don't think they're going to, considering that they've got Frankie putting his nose into shit that doesn't fucking involve him, which is typical of him.
Yep.
Which is why he's got that match with First Class against Chavo and Aztec Warriors next week. But I could see Maclin being like, hey, look, it was a tainted victory. I want to run it back and prove that I can do it on my own without outside interference.
Then we had the very last match, the System, which pertained to Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers with Alicia Edwards
Of course.
versus Joe Hendry and Elijah for the main event. There was a lot of cheap shots from the system, including Alicia Edwards getting involved.
Which is typical of them.
Yep, it was a decent pace. Joe Hendry, once he finally got in, he was able to keep the pace and take control.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Anywho, Joe Hendry basically took out Brian Myers and finished off Eddie Edwards. I think Myers was the main person in the match with Joe Hendry. So Hendry hit the standing ovation to get the pin and the win. So the system is down 2 victories. They were trying to get back into a game of winning, and they could not do it.
Yeah, they were trying to pretty much gain the upper hand against Joe Hendry and his cohorts.
Yeah.
Not that they're an official team, but after the loss at Sacrifice to Joe Hendry's team, they kind of wanted to try to get back on top by getting a victory over Joe Hendry and Elijah.
Yep.
I keep wanting to call him Elias because that's all I've known him.
That's what he used to be in WWE.
Yeah, WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Yep.
Crazy enough, even though it's the same exact gimmick, just a different name, he's getting over more now in TNA than he did in WWE. Even though he was kind of over, he was over in WWE, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he's on a higher level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. He's on a higher level with TNA, which just kind of goes to show
WWE doesn't know how to push their talent.
Yeah.
At least not all of their talent. They choose a certain few to push.
And they run that shit until it's fucking dead in the water.
So that is the recap of TNA. They did announce matches for next week.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be Gigi and Tatum versus Elegance. Aztec
Gigi
Warriors
and Tatum gonna beat that fucking
and Chavo versus First Class and Frankie. JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich. Eric Young versus Ace Austin. And Leon Slater versus Nick Nemeth. So they
shit, yeah, they did announce that.
So they did announce
All right,
that.
my bad. And this is why we went back and made a list of all the matches that they did announce. So yeah, we will have Leon Slater versus Nick Nemeth next week.
Yep.
Overall, I'd say it was a pretty good episode of TNA. Considering, I said in a different video, I can't remember which one, that normally the episode before and the episode after a pay-per-view tend to be a slower paced episode.
Yeah.
This one was pretty well paced, honestly. I would give that show, honestly, like a 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty good. It didn't feel like there was a lull because they just had a pay-per-view.
Right.
I
agree.
Okay. She agrees. Mint. On that note, though, again, that's our recap for TNA. Our next video will be tomorrow, and that will be our WWE recap. We're just waiting on SmackDown for tonight.
Yep.
And I'll put that one up tomorrow, and then Sunday I'll put up. Actually, no, I will not put up AEW this Sunday. AEW will actually be posted on Monday because AEW is doing a weekend long.
Yep.
So there's actually going to be 2 AEW episodes this weekend, one Saturday, one Sunday. So instead of our normal AEW upload on Sunday, it'll be Monday that I'll upload that.
Yep.
But per usual, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Share it with your buddies. And we will see you guys in the next one.